What's going on, champion? So we're back again with another interesting video. Today we're doing the intro. We're breaking down things for people who are not sure what the metaverse is and what NFTs are. So we've gotten a whole lot of requests from people on explaining the difference between NFTs and the metaverse. So we're talking about that today. You got to stay tuned because we're breaking this down, synthesizing this, unpacking this, and digesting it for those of you who are curious what the NFTs versus the metaverse really, mean. And I'm here with my co-host Abder. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Izu? How you doing, man? Happy New Year.
Appreciate it, man. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm doing good, better than I deserve, like Dave Ramsey says.
Yeah, man. We all are, man. We all are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how are you excited about today's topic?
I'm super excited. This is something, like you said, many people have asked of me because you hear all these terms, right? And we talked about the metaverse. We talked about NFTs in our other videos. But at the end of the day, the true definitions and the true differences, this is what we're going to unpack today. So if you can just get us kicked off, that'll be amazing.
Breaking it down, brother. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to, get this to the level. This is just a 101, Metaverse 101, NFT 101. This is not giving you a full lecture. We don't want to bore you with all that talk. So we're going to give you the analogies and also bring you examples that you have to know. Because right now, we all know the crypto market, the crypto sector is booming, right? The NFT market is booming. I mean, last year we had according to the reports, over $20 billion in NFTs sold. That's a lot of money, right? And the wave, this is not just a wave, but right now it feels like a wave, and the wave is going to continue deep into 2022. So again, when the average person hears the metaverse, right, they're just thinking it's a buzzword, or they're thinking, what exactly does this mean? When I'm hearing the metaverse, are they talking about cryptocurrency? Are they talking about NFTs? And people always conflate the metaverse with NFTs. So I'm gonna throw it back to you, right? How would you explain the metaverse?
Well, let's see. So if you start off with the definition from Binance, right,
Okay.
which is a big website where you can actually trade NFTs and trade land and all these different things. You read that the metaverse is a digital 3D universe that incorporates numerous processes and elements such as communications, finance, game worlds, personal profiles, NFTs, and more, right? So this is a very complex description, in my opinion, right? So if I read it, I'm like, what is this jargon? This sounds like something from the Oxford Dictionary, right?
Yep.
And so, but the important thing is, as you heard, the thing to distinguish is NFTs are part of the metaverse. That's the first thing, right? So they're right there. That's kind of a good clue, right? And we can unpack more. And obviously, I hope our followers here can push the like button, and if it's their first time, also follow us. We always tell them that, so we appreciate their support, right?
If you're just joining in for the first time, look, you are in for a treat. Hit that subscribe button now to avoid missing out on any of the critical information when it comes to the metaverse. Because right now, if you don't join this channel, you're going to be missing out on all the awesome content that we're talking about on this channel. And also give this video a like, the thumbs up, right? It helps other people get this information quicker. So you did say a few things when it comes to the metaverse, right? It feels like a jargon. It feels like all of these, but for the layman, for the average person who is not familiar with, who has never even heard of NFTs, or maybe he has heard about it but can't relate. You talked about NFTs being the building block for the metaverse. But again, from my standpoint, when I hear the metaverse, just to simplify it for most folks who are listening right now, I'm thinking about a virtual world, right? I'm thinking about the world that's just the same real life we have right now, a space similar to this, except in the digital arena, the digital space. I mean, does that kind of align?
You hit it, man. That's exactly what it is. So take our world and get a parallel world next to it, right? Just like we see in the movies, 20 years ago, whatever, we would say this would never happen, right? We would never be able to to just jump into a different world, have a new version of ourselves, and do what we do here, but in that new world, right? So if you think about, okay, what do people currently do right now, right? Well, they use their phone to text and call, right? They walk, they drive, they fly somewhere, they use handheld devices.
Uh-huh.
Take this interaction of the digital world. We're talking about the digital world, right? So take
Yep.
this interaction and put it in the virtual world. And
Okay.
how do we do this, right? Well, right now, like I said, when I'm talking to you, I'm
Uh-huh.
using the internet, I'm using Zoom, I'm using all this. Well, what if your avatar, which is kind of like your digital twin, goes
Yep.
into this world and interacts with others who also have an avatar in that new world, right? So I have an avatar, you have an avatar. We're gonna meet in this metaverse, and we're gonna do what we normally do in real life.
So again, someone hearing this right now, I'm totally with you. Everything you said is spot on, right? I'm just trying to play the average viewer who's still confused and all of this
Mm-hmm.
stuff, right? So when you say your avatar, when you say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm meeting with you, I'm not, it's your avatar, the metaverse.
No. So so
Okay.
so so your avatar is the what makes you exist in the metaverse, right?
Boom.
That's what
There
it
you
is.
go. No,
It's your
no, no.
actual connection.
That's it. That's it. That's what I wanted to get out of this for people who are watching right now. So again, it's a 3D object of
Mm-hmm.
you,
That's correct.
customized.
That's
That is
correct.
basically a replica of yourself in this digital virtual world. So
Correct.
again, yeah.
Now,
So no, that
let
was
me let
spot
me
on.
let me remind you this, by the way, right? So
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg, this man said, it's a digital playground where all your dreams come true. Okay,
Facts.
what reminds you of that? Like who said that before, right?
Yeah, it sounds like one of those things that I've heard and read in science fiction, to be
Right.
honest.
Or if we talk about the digital, the real world, it's Disney, right? Where
Correct,
all your
correct.
dreams come true. Come to
Come true.
Disneyland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
That's
didn't even
that's
think
kind of
about
where
that, but
he's
yeah.
going with this, right? He's going
Uh-huh.
with the fact that, next thing you know, your dreams are no longer bound by reality. Your dreams now
Correct.
are something beyond, and that's the
Okay.
metaverse. Basically, is what he's trying to say.
That makes sense. So basically, for those of you who are still confused, just in a nutshell, the metaverse is this space where you and I can exist with
Mm,
things, and we can interact, and we can collaborate, we can operate, and we can actually communicate within this
hmm.
space. And this is
Yes.
not a space that you have to physically go to. It's a space, a different world where you just have to type in the www dot whatever on your
Hmm.
phone, the web 3.0, and then you find
Hmm.
yourself in this virtual world where you can transact, purchase
Yes.
things, chat, and have fun, and even party.
Yes.
Okay.
Even party with Snoop Dogg, like we said, right?
Like we say, right? We've talked about the Snoop verse, and
That's right.
okay, so again, we've talked about all of this stuff. We've kind of touched up on the applications of the metaverse, touched up on a little bit of that. Now let's segue into NFTs. Now, where exactly do we see NFTs coming in? So the whole NFTs versus the metaverse. What are we
Correct.
talking here?
Correct. So let me start with this, right? Um, let's talk about playing, working, shopping in the metaverse,
Okay.
right? This is the stuff that we do normally in a normal world, right? We do all these things. How will people see you, right? Talk to you, right? What will you see? Well, for people, for example, what are you going to see? You're going to see clothes, right? They need to
Yep.
have a
Yep.
body, for example. You're going to see cars. You see things. That's what this is, right? So all these things that make the metaverse are what you can call non-fungible tokens, which is NFTs. They represent, it's the content, it's the material that you bring to the metaverse to make it what it is.
Like that. So basically, the building blocks of
Right.
the metaverse. So let
Hmm.
me I like to simplify things a little bit too. I know you're coming from
For
that
sure. For sure.
technical.
For
But
sure.
before we get into the simplification, just real
Hmm.
quick, I want to ask, what are the popular metaverses we have right now? What are some of the popular metaverses that exist right now that people can wrap their head around it or go Google and do their own little research?
Well, I mean, there's Decentraland, right? That's one of
Yep.
the biggest ones. Yeah, you have it right there, and you can pull up all the other ones actually on your screen here. But
Yep.
Decentraland is one of the most popular ones. And then go ahead, Izu, if
There's
you
a
want to.
sandbox.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so there's a sandbox. There's the Horizon Wars, the one. There's the one that Facebook is working on now, Meta. And this whole thing about the metaverse became really popular after Mark Zuckerberg came out and gave his little spiel, the 1 hour or 50-minute video. But yeah, there's a bunch of them, but the most common ones are the Central Land, the Sandbox, and the one that Facebook is working on. And again, nothing is new about the metaverse, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it sounds like it's so popular now, but it's been a few years in the works.
That's right.
There's been companies like Google, that have been doing stuff behind the scenes on the metaverse, and Facebook just really made it popular in this last few months. So again, no, thanks for explaining that. So back to the simplification of what the NFTs
Hmm.
really are, the building blocks, the components that are needed to actually have an immersive experience in the metaverse. So think about this, like, you basically uh, get to the Sahara Desert, right? You walk into the Sahara Desert and it's just nothing but the desert. You look left, right, east, west, north, south. It's nothing, right? Just the
Hmm.
sand.
That's
And
it.
this kind of reminds me of Dubai, back in the early 80s, back when Dubai was just the desert. And
Correct.
slowly people started moving, building, purchasing land, building properties, building attraction sites, building shopping malls, um, office headquarters, companies were moving in. So those are the NFTs, those little pieces. So the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens, are basically the brain behind the metaverse. Even land in the metaverse is an NFT. Right. So you've got most of these digital assets. That's the way to think about the NFTs. For those of you who are wondering, the NFTs are simply digital assets that exist in the metaverse. So it goes hand in hand with the metaverse, but it is not the metaverse.
Hmm. That's
So
right.
again,
And here's something pretty interesting, right?
yeah.
Um, it's there's two components to NFTs. There's
Yep.
the actual item. What is the item? Like you said, right? It's a digital asset. For example, a car, a wallet, anything. I mean, really,
Yeah.
your glasses, anything you want in the metaverse, you need to buy,
Yep.
just like in the real world. Now,
Yep.
when you buy something in the real world, what do you get? You get a receipt, which is a proof of
Correct.
ownership, right? And you, when you buy a car, you get a
Yep.
title. When you buy a house, you get a title. So the more expensive something is, the more important it is to have proof of ownership, so that
Ownership.
somebody else doesn't come and take it away from you.
Yep.
Now, in the NFT world and the metaverse, how do you have that proof? Well, that's where NFTs come in, because each NFT comes with a smart contract, right? What
Yep.
is the smart contract? It's a receipt, it's a title to your house, right? So basically,
Correct.
anything of value in the metaverse that is an NFT will have this sole proprietorship where you own that thing.
Yep. Yep.
Now, I hear always, for NFTs, they say, well, this is a piece of art. I can see it on OpenSea.com or whatever. I see the design. I can just take a picture of it and it's mine. I don't need to
Yeah.
pay $1,000 for it. You
Uh-huh.
can take a screenshot of it, but guess what? It's worthless because you cannot resell it. You cannot enter it into the metaverse. So you just have a piece of art. Congratulations. You have a screenshot on your computer. Big whoop, right?
Hey, I got a little piece, but that I can't really make anything out of, right?
That's right.
No.
That's right.
No, true. So NFTs, pretty much from what you're saying, it's the technology behind the NFTs enables us to transact, to
Hmm.
buy, sell, and transfer within
Hmm.
the metaverse. So
Correct.
again, it sounds like jargon, and I'm hoping that this little spiel we did here can, give people more clarity when it comes to, the differences between these two. So they are very, very important. And I gotta say, the metaverse is still in its infancy, and NFTs are also in their early stages. So again, for those of you who have not tapped in who are not fully tapped in or fully connected with the metaverse and the NFTs, you got to watch this space, because we're going to be breaking this down, bringing you the top NFT projects, bringing you the crypto assets that some of these NFT projects are tied to. We're going to be showing you ways that you can maximize the metaverse and NFTs. And again, if you have not yet subscribed, you got to hit that subscribe button. So now we're gonna take this to a whole different, your opinion. When we're thinking about the metaverse right now, everyone, like we said before, thinks it's a buzzword. What do you truly believe is the future of the metaverse? Do you think it's one of those things that will be a boom? That's just a boom and will eventually become a burst, or do you think boom or bust kind of thing? Do you think this is actually a game changer?
Well, Izu, I'm gonna say this in one sentence. We're gonna cover this in a different video, so I'm not gonna give you that answer. But what I will tell you is my opinion about why this all matters, right?
Yeah.
Right now, there are a lot of metaverses. There are a lot of real worlds. Okay, just like back in the day when the internet first came out in the 60s and 70s, there were a lot of internet browsers in the 80s and 90s, right? And that's kind of where the whole .com bubble burst, right? So if you think about all these different internet browsers, and each browser had its own information and its own users, but they all did not speak to each other. If we learn anything from the old internet, it's that the future of the metaverse will interconnect all these dispersed metaverses. Some of them will win out, some of them will not. And that's kind of the idea there. Just think about the old internet and compare it to the new one, and you're going to have your answer for the metaverse.
Got it. Yeah, I kind of set that up for you to, break it down the way you did, because I do believe that the metaverse, is the future. And I really think, just like you say, the Web 1.0, we went from the Web 1.0, the internet, and from there we advanced to Web 2.0, which was the social media stage, the apps and all that stuff. And now we're talking about Web 3.0. But again, there's this whole argument about how decentralized the metaverse is, because when people think about the metaverse, they think about cryptocurrency and how decentralized cryptocurrency is. So from your standpoint, do you really think the metaverse does not have that third party interference? That how will you get where I'm going with this, right?
Yes,
From a decentralized standpoint, a lot of people are talking about it. The last video we did, in fact, about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg arguing, going back and forth.
Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey arguing about the who owns the metaverse and that kind of stuff. So this kind of brings me to the question again, right? Is the metaverse truly decentralized? Then I have another question after that one that I want to get your thoughts on.
Just for the people I like this. No, I like this. This is something that goes on through everybody's mind, by the way. So you're hitting all the right questions. I would say the metaverse will be decentralized from a technology perspective, meaning assets are gonna have contracts. You're gonna have full ownership of them. Nobody can come and take those away from you. But there has to be some sort of management of this. Just like everything else, if nobody manages this world in a way, right? Just like your property manager of a house, your property manager of a town, just like your governments in the real world. Why was government made? Originally it was because, to establish some sort of order. The same thing as the metaverse. There's going to be some sort of, regulation. I'm not saying I'm pro-government, contra government. I'm not saying all that. What I'm saying is
you're gonna catch a lot of heat for this, man. You're gonna get all the crypto bulls coming for you, man.
No, but here's the thing, right? I truly believe in the technology of decentralization and the technology of of having collective power, right? There is collective power here to create a new world, right? But don't mistake that for the fact that nothing is 100% perfect.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's kind of my view. Again, I might take some heat, but man, I'm ready for it. It's a good conversation. We're all having fun.
That's the biggest thing critics are basically laying their hands on when they talk about the metaverse right now. It doesn't mean that people cannot say what they feel like. But again, when it comes to the factual, who really owns the metaverse and all that kind of stuff, this is the biggest subject that has drawn a lot of mixed opinion from different people. So here's what I think so far from what I've seen, and this is strictly 100% my opinion. This is not facts, just kind of just spilling my mind here. I don't like the fact that there's no interconnection between the central land and the sandbox and whatever else anybody else is building. So when you've got people like Facebook building a metaverse, Horizon Walls or something like that, automatically there's no decentralization there. I mean, it's now owned by these huge institutions, and people can build NFTs and create NFTs within the Facebook metaverse, I believe. So, but just thinking about it, there's nothing that stops you and I from going out there and creating our own metaverse. Right, so we can create it and we can name it the Wild Metaverse, right? So we can have that. But there's really no interaction between the two. Like, I can't go from the central land to sandbox. So it almost makes me feel like, is this whole thing, while I believe it's the future, it all makes me feel like, is this whole thing a race of who, of which metaverse will become the most adopted, and which metaverse will support, people creating and expressing themselves. And so that's $1 million question or $1 billion question that someone has to answer. And I feel like whoever wins the race first, right, in the minds of the users and people, will be the number one metaverse. So right now, there's a ton of them. And they can't talk to each other, and nothing stops you and I from creating it. Nothing stops the whales, the guys, the institutions with the cash from going in and dominating that space like Facebook is doing right now. And I heard Microsoft is creating theirs as well.
Yes,
so
they are.
I mean, there's a lot of projects out there for the metaverse.
They are. Very good perspective. I completely agree with you. The fact that there's so many players just shows me that there's no clear winner, right? Maybe the winner may be the person that combines all of them and has them talk to each other.
Yeah,
I think it's possible. Again, going back to historical speaking, historical context, the internet originally was this, and a lot of those companies actually died, right?
True.
And new ones came up that actually had improvements. But don't forget this, though. Don't forget that, for example, NFTs, right? There's a social aspect to NFTs in the metaverse world. What is it? It allows like-minded individuals that are holding these NFTs to band into communities that share experiences and create content together. Right?
True.
Like in Facebook right now, or Instagram, or anywhere, you have followers, you have groups, right? The Porsche group, the whatever group. Every group has interests. Right now, how they interact is they interact via chat, or they interact via maybe Clubhouse or whatever. But what if now they can buy NFTs, and that's how they show their like-mindedness, right? They do that in the metaverse. So whoever can hit that, whoever can address that niche, which is bringing people together and doing it effectively, is going to win.
I totally agree, 100%. Because that's really what it is right now. There's a lot of them out there, and it's a race of who brings the best package to the people. Cool. I think we can keep going on, and this topic is, we can go on for hours, but for the sake of the viewers, people who are getting tired right now, we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about what the metaverse is, what the NFT is, and how they both play a role, right? And how they both help each other, and what people can really know from a 101 standpoint on the metaverse versus the NFTs. So what will be your key takeaway, wrapping it all up, just for people taking away from this video?
Four key takeaways, Izu. Four key takeaways. Cool. All right. 1, NFTs will play an integral role in creating an identity for somebody, creating a community and social experiences in the metaverse. That's 1. All right.
Nice.
2, the metaverse, see it as planet Earth, and the raw materials like rocks and water and so on are the NFTs. of it. Making it up. What makes up that metaverse is the
Can you say
NFTs.
that again? The raw materials.
The raw materials, meaning, you know, rocks,
Got you.
minerals, all these
Got you.
things that the earth provides, right?
Got it.
Well,
Yep. Yep.
you make something from them. You make cars. Everything comes from these natural resources, right? That's your NFTs. Okay, and then they're essentially the byproducts, basically, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
finally, the fourth one is they need each other to mean anything. NFTs
I like
make
that.
the metaverse relevant, and they
Yeah.
give it life. And the metaverse provides NFTs and their owners a place to be seen, heard, and experienced.
Got it. Got it. No, that was dope. That was great. The key takeaway for me here from everything from the 4 points you gave is that they need each other. That's what
right.
it is. You know, so they need each other to be relevant. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's been real. Thanks for breaking this down, and I hope you guys, you know, really gain some insights and some value out of this video. The goal on this channel is to help you guys really understand what's happening within this space, and that's why I was striving to bring you well-researched information. So again, if you've gained some insight, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and also share this video with other people. Look, guys, it's been real, and it's been nice hanging out with you guys. Hey, what's the last word for the champions out there watching?
Read up on the metaverse. Read up and ask me questions. Ask easy questions. We can get
Comment
them
section
for the next one. That's right. Comment section as always. All right.
There you go, guys.
Stay
Cool.
cool.
Well, you guys stay winning, and see you in the next one.